It was one thing when they said, let's take the GST or HST off. I think it should be off every single bill. The one thing I think that concerns me that it's so high is you can't build when the rates are this high. You can't get people looking, they're hesitant to buy their first home. They want to wait a year for rates to drop. You're telling construction all these municipalities, the province, and now the federal government are going, build. We're way behind. And their costs go up as well, right? Like it is, I think it's become a self-fulfilling prophecy that people are like, we're not going to build and we're not going to buy, and we're not even going to, put a down payment on something until it's a more reasonable rate. So I get that the high interest rates are meant to stifle inflation and discretionary spending, but this is essential spending to build houses, and you're jamming all these companies. Like, it was one thing when they said, let's take the GST or HST off. I think it should be off every single build. I think it should be for subdivisions that are going to be $1.5 million homes. Take the GST and HST off that and give people at least that room to breathe until rates are down closer to 4%, 3.75. But that's me. Maybe it's easier said than done.
Have you talked on your show about the Polyevra housing hell video?
I watched the video with I had my 17-year-old son watch it. He's going to go off to university next year. Look, it's a political ad, but here's what it is. It's compelling. It puts some things in place, but like a political ad, there's a little bit of, there's no mention of the provinces, right? Ontario controls landlord-tenant business. Ontario controls rent control, or I should say that's their jurisdiction. So there's a lot that's sort of all pushed towards the prime minister when global inflation is again, inflation ain't just in Canada. The three of us know that, post-COVID. But the U.S. economy is recovering a ton faster than ours is. And that did get documented in the video. I just thought it was really effective communication, and it leaves the federal government looking around going, how do we match that? And just as a greater point,
how do we match that? Yeah.
How do you it's
drama.
15 minutes.
They're drama majors. They should be able to match that easily.
Right. But, for all of us who have, 90, 120 second attention spans nowadays, to sit there and watch it for 15 minutes and be like, oh, that flew by. That's a really good sign that it's good communication. And I'd advise, like, if you want to topple an incumbent government, if you're say, Marit Stiles and the NDP, if you're Bonnie Crombie and the Liberals, you make videos like that about healthcare and education in the province of Ontario, you're going to win. But if you just keep, yap, bark, and don't put something really effective that compels people, you're not gonna knock Doug Ford off anytime soon. They need to think like the Polyev conservatives think in terms of reaching people. And I thought it was really effective communication on it, again, whether it's all valid or not, and no matter what's left out. It's like a movie trailer. It makes you want to see the movie.
Right before you jumped on, Greg, with us, Darryl and I were talking about, he said to me, would I give the advice to a new realtor to do door knocking or social media as their initial prospecting method to find new clients? And I was like a resounding 100% social media. And now in the political arenas, this is what it was before. They would go knocking on doors and canvassing and everything, and that was how things worked in order to be able to get your name out there. And obviously social media is a huge tool now that people can use. And that video, I mean, yeah, like, you're absolutely 15 minutes. I was captivated the whole time. I wanted to see it. I don't think I've watched a 15-minute video ever on Twitter because I'm not on there, but that was the first one for sure.
Like, who's not affected by this right now? Whether it's, like, even if most people they either have kids coming into the market or they have parents coming out of the market and it's not the best time for that, or they want to move up in the market or they need to move down in the market. Because like you're saying, okay, you renew in November. There's all these articles saying, about this cliff that's coming up, the renewal. We've been talking about a renewal crisis for like a year and a half already. But it just doesn't seem to come. Like, we see power of sales increasing, but we're just not seeing like this level of destruction out there, which is kind of interesting. But there's a ton of mortgages. Like, I don't even know, can people handle 4.5 from where some of these mortgages are coming? Like, did people pay down any of their mortgage like in 2
They got
years?
stress tests. They were stress test at 5.25.
But there's stress tests with 18 cousins on the form, right? Like, or 3 other people. Like, those, what's the chances that those 3 other people are having some kind of issues at the moment, and their financial statements don't look as good, or maybe the guy that made their financial statements last time disappeared, right? Now they got to find somebody that can replicate them again. Like, who knows? But there's got to be something, right? Like we keep saying, something has to give at some point.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our clips channel. Why don't you go and check out some more clips? We got lots of other good content somewhere over here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.